So, in case you don't know, I'm part of this little Minecraft server called the Fungi HMP, where we've got a whole lot of little streamers all gathered in one place. And when you hear that, you're probably thinking, oh, like 3 or 5. We have 30 people in this server. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm very proud of it, as I was the original creator of the idea, but I wasn't exactly the reason it has 30 people in it. And 1 week ago, yesterday, and today, 2 days and a week ago, the first, I guess, weekish happened. I mean, it was day 8, but, you know, we're just gonna say the first week for convenience purposes, because it started on a Monday, or a Sunday, and then we do wheel spins on Saturday, so we're just gonna go by wheel spin. You're probably wondering, Dino, what the f is a wheel spin? And I'll get into that. But first, we should probably get into the rules. The Fungi HMP is not an SMP, because S means survival. And not very many people survive for too long around. Yeah, that's right. This server is called an HMP because it is in hardcore mode, but only kinda, because you get 3 lives. Which I promise we're not trying to be Dream SM. And along with this, if you have died, you spin a wheel every Saturday to pick one person who has died to get 1 life back. But I'm pretty sure, I don't run Season 2, we are currently on Season 2, I'm pretty sure that once you wheel spin and come back, you're just dead if you die after that. I could be wrong, but I feel like it'd kind of be annoying if we didn't do it like that, so yeah. Some members of this little posse, I don't know what the fuck I called it that, it's a Minecraft server, or at least the people that are going to be relevant for this week, because there are a couple players that just kind of lay low for the past, 8 days. They probably won't get on very much. But the most important people are Dinosaurian, that's me, Mushroom, that's the other owner, Miles, that's the 3rd owner, why do we have so many of these, Little Ant, Very Kitty, and there's more that we'll say as we go. So, first of all, the first countries formed, which involve the Shadow Order and the Merchants and just some other less important countries, and then Shroomton showed up. Shroomton's citizen count is that of 6, which is pretty freaking good because a lot of people just don't even engage in countries. And that was pretty early on too. Shroomton has some of the best technology currently, even after the first day. As of today, it is probably the strongest country on the server. Shroomton is run by Mushroom. I don't know if y'all would have caught up with that, as their president, and then their vice president. Oh, that was a voice crack. And their vice president is a man named Luckily, and he doesn't really do much. Some citizens that I know of, at least, include Very Kitty, who I mentioned earlier, Little Ant, who I also mentioned earlier, I think, and he's another streamer. Not all of these people are streamers. Little Ant is a streamer, much like Mushroom, and much like, I should say, or much like Mile, or much like Romzz. Romzz was also a citizen of Shroomton in the first day, and that didn't exactly end well for him, because on the second day, which is where we are at now, Romzz died. Lost all 3 lives. So Romzz straight up just couldn't get onto the server anymore, and everyone was kind of sad about it, because everybody likes Romzz. Romzz, if you're watching this, love you. That was kind of gay, but anyways, me being dead didn't really have much of a say in what's going on in the server. For the first couple days, at least. until I decided to create the Holy Empire of Bacon. And, this server is kind of like D&D, where you can roleplay as you go, or you can just mess around or do strategy. There's some roleplay elements. Mine was kind of the roleplay country, mostly because I was dead and I needed to find a reason to run a country, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm a ghost now. And then propaganda flourished. I just went on Canva one day and I was like, you know, it'd be funny. And then I got my Minecraft skin and I put a little text that said, "Make your emperor proud." And I'll be honest, pretty quickly some people were making their emperor proud. I mean, first day we didn't get too much success, and then when I say first day, I mean day 2, with only me and Little Ant. And Little Ant, to my knowledge, was working as a spy. Yeah, that's right, we have spies in this server, and a lot of them at that. Little Ant, to my knowledge, was working as a spy on Shroomton. I didn't particularly have anything against Shroomton, except the president was kind of a jerk. But, you know, it's good to have spies everywhere. That being said, I didn't completely trust Ant's loyalty, but I was like, you know, he joined me on the first day. Like, he agreed to do whatever my shenanigans was when I was planning it on the first day. So I was like, nah, he can't choose Shroomton over the Empire. That's foreshadowing, right? Eventually, I would actually get some more citizens. Jazz, Very Kitty. I know I'm repeating a lot of names, but I promise there's more people on this server. And even Mushroom all would eventually join my server. But on day 3, that's not exactly how things were going too well. On day 3, to my knowledge, Very Kitty, a citizen of Shroomton at the time, attempted, or even succeeded, in destroying Mushroom's house. Which, like, kind of a dick move, dude. He's my op, and even I wouldn't do that. Like, what? No, I'm just playing. That shit was hilarious. So, anyways, Mushroom had kind of had it up to here with Very Kitty. They weren't looking too good, so I was like, hey, Mushroom kind of doesn't seem to want to do anything with my country, and that usually means war eventually. I think Very Kitty would be a good asset to my server. And then I took a shower and forgot to ask him to join. And then while that was happening, me and the vice president were getting into beef because he called my country silly. And I was like, I'm your emperor, shut the fuck. But he did not seem to appreciate me trying to, you know, take over the entire server very much. Oh yeah, that's right. This is kind of being told from the perspective of the villain. I'm trying to be as non-biased as possible, but I'm also just, you know, the villain of this series. Okay, I mean, technically there's not exactly a villain. But, like, you know, if there was one, it would be me. Because, you know, I'm an emperor. Every emperor is evil. But like I said, this is mostly just, like, D&D, but Minecraft. So, we would get into that when we got into that. So, we would get to the fact that I'm low-key just kind of evil another time. We could also, you know, deal with the fact that we literally have a country called the Dark Order, but it's fine. I'm not upset. I'm just trying to be an emperor and bring world peace and shit. Speaking of the Dark Order, I also found beef with them, because I was like, hey, you guys should, you know, ally with us. The Empire, which at the time didn't even have a Discord server yet, and they low-key just said, but you're not my emperor. You have such low diplomacy skills, chat. All of you. Every single person in that Fungi HMP has the diplomacy skills of a 6-year-old who just got their toy taken away. Sorry, I accidentally went into voice acting dinosaur in there for a second. That was my bad. I'm not gonna do that again. But by day 3, people did not respect me as the the emperor. The emperor. I'm gonna keep the bloopers in this time. But yeah, so people were not really respecting their emperor, and I was kind of pissed because I'm trying to just bring world peace here, chat. What did I do to deserve? And while all that was happening, Mushroom was streaming every day wholesome videos of them building their house and finding orange shit. I can't have nice things. Little Ant was also doing the same thing, eventually. In fact, he was streaming at the same time that Mushroom was streaming. Which seemed odd to me, but, you know, I'm not gonna judge. If anything, I was like, oh, okay, cool, I can look back at the VODs and see if anything is strange, because, again, I'm kind of spying on the mushroom people, the Shroomtons. There's also a slur that you can't call them. Apparently, you're not allowed to say Shroomians. That's a slur against mushroom people, so don't say that. I only said it for educational purposes. If people who know the lore are in my comments right now, I said it for educational purposes, like how I'm about to say. So, I was eventually kind of sad. I mean, nobody's respecting the Empire. What could I possibly do to fix this? And then, I found some people who might respect it. Suddenly, things were falling into place very quickly. My decent friend Forrester joined, and eventually he rose the ranks to become the second-in-command, also known as the Minister. Along with Very Kitty joining, and having a strange amount of loyalty. And eventually, Jazz would join as well. Cloud. Oh, speaking of Cloud, Cloud died on day 3, I believe. But his ghost was there, and I'm all for ghosts, so, you know, he wasn't going to do anything until he was revived, eventually, by the wheel, but, you know, for now, he's there. You know who wasn't there for the longest time, though? Mushroom, and that eventually changed when he joined my server, and, well, you know, I was kind of trolling in his Twitch chat, but eventually he got mad at me, I think, and now we had a war on our hands. Yippee! Yeah, no, we're not on day 4 anymore. I skipped quite a bit because nothing happened. They were just building shit, and they might have a nuke, but I'm not quite sure on that. So Mushroom would eventually join my Discord, eventually being last night, and he would basically be like, oh, hey, Pookie, I'm just gonna join your little Discord even though I bashed your religion and said you're the emperor of nobody like 2 days ago, okay? And I was like, we don't have a Starbucks here, sir. Unfortunately, though, that didn't scare him off for too long because he remained in the Discord, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna give you citizenship. Pretty please? No. Pretty please? No. Pretty please? No. But I will give you diplomat role if you just, you know, chill the fuck out. Okay, that works. So, I gave him diplomat role, and things ended well. Is what I want to say, until, they didn't. I, eventually was getting sick of him bashing my entire country, and basically told him, you know what? I'm big now. As of currently, like, past that point, I have 8 people in the server. I'm big now. About as big as you, in fact. Maybe you have better technology, but I have more people. You have an election against any candidate that is willing. Or surrender to the Empire. Or we just kill you anyways and take all your shit. And Mush didn't like any of these options because the first one, he didn't want to lose his presidency, is what I'm assuming. The second one, he didn't like the Empire because apparently we're tyrannical and stuff. Like, homie, I'm just trying to unite everybody under world peace. How hard is that? He just didn't like that I threatened to kill him too, so that probably put him off a little bit. And you're probably wondering, why are you so upset at this guy? I mean, what did he say? I'll tell you. First of all, I think I should give you a little breakdown of religion in this server. There's a handful of religions, but the main religion that is supported by the most people is the Church of Ryan Gosling. Of which I you know, that's the church I go to as well, you know, as a ghost so nobody can see me, but, you know, of the churches, that's my favorite. And also, I talked to Ryan Gosling one time, and he seemed cool. And when I say I talked to Ryan Gosling, I mean I talked to my friend playing as Ryan Gosling on a Discord account. Is this creepy? I think this might be creepy. So yeah, Ryan Gosling is our God and Lord and Savior. So, you know, I was like, that MF homie. That MF a homie. I'm chill with him. You know, I also think I'm a God figure, or at least my character does. The areas between character and reality are kind of fuzzy sometimes, but I compared myself to him. Mushroom is not as much of a firm believer in Ryan Gosling. If you had asked him about the Church of Ryan Gosling in Season 1, he probably would have slandered it and called it stupid. But now, suddenly, he has to act all heroic and stuff. So he said that Ryan Gosling is cool, and that he never said anything bad about Ryan Gosling, which is objectively not true. You in Season 1, you said the whole Church of Ryan Gosling is stupid. Why is my cat scratching my door? That's impolite. This is not a treadmill. Okay, well, whatever. And then he made the announcement in the Discord announcements channel in the Fungi HMP server. Not even one of our little nation servers, the Fungi HMP server itself. There's a lot of Discord servers. I don't usually use Discord, but I've been having to use it for this silly little Minecraft server. And basically what happened is, well, it's kind of hard to explain what happened, actually. Because he announced that, at everybody, we would like to announce that there are currently no Ryan Gosling supporters in our country. Or no, that we are Ryan Gosling clean. Or Ryan Gosling free. This is what you get, Dino. I was like, so we're banning religions now? That seems stupid. And then he was like, but also, if you have religious beliefs in Ryan Gosling, you're still allowed to join. So then I was just confused. Oh, what are you announcing then? Like, okay, you don't currently have any Ryan Gosling believers in your Minecraft nation. Good for you, I suppose, but like, what does that have to do with like anything? He knows I like Ryan Gosling, and you know I'm a firm believer in the Church of Ryan Gosling. So he was clearly saying it to get at me. And what I think was going to happen, or what I think he was trying to have happen, is he was trying to poke the bear. The proverbial bear, being me and my empire. He was trying to annoy me to the point where I would wage war on him and look like the villain. I saw right through that, like, kind of immediately. And I was like, legit? This is stupid. At everybody. We currently have no grilled cheeses, and we are grilled cheese free in the Empire of Bacon. And then in a different text, although if you have grilled cheese, you're allowed to take it in here, I guess. And he didn't see what I didn't. He saw something I didn't see, because apparently that Ryan Gosling thing was supposed to be the biggest revelation of all time. Like, motherfucker, I don't care who's in your country as of currently. And then he said that he's gonna pass laws about it. Pass laws about what? You're very clearly desperate in trying to get me to dislike you, and it's kind of frickin' working. I mean, this man was low-key just making petty announcements to make petty announcements, and it was annoying. This white light is making me look pale as an Oshawott. What the fuck? Essentially, what I'm saying is, I was done with him trying to poke and prod the bear, so I essentially said, you know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna invade you, or you could run an election, because, you know, you're president, not like a king. Presidents have elections, they, you know, like, run against. And he flat out said no. Even though there was a willing candidate by the name of Very Kitty who was ready to run for president. And Mushroom low-key just said no. Like, why are you... What? You could have easily escaped war just by saying, okay, fine. won a presidential election, and then I would have no legal grounds to wage war on you. But he said no. And I was like, okay, well, get the troops ready. But then I thought to myself, wait a minute, I'm gonna kind of look like a dick if I just invade this guy for no reason. Other than, you know, the obvious poking and prodding. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll hold a meeting with him, which we have the audio file of, which should eventually be out. And that brought us literally nowhere. And he low-key just... He's a warmonger. This isn't propaganda. I promise. Mushroom is a warmongerer. And he's an evil one at that. He was very hell-bent on disliking me because of how our country works, even though he could have just been an adult, or been a, I guess we're minors, but been a mature individual, set that aside, like what I was trying to do, and just never have our countries interact again. It would not have been that hard. Anyways, that was basically everything eventful that happened in week 1 of Mushroom HMP, or Fungi HMP, Fungi HMP Season 2. I hope you enjoyed this video. I tried replicating my shorts videos as much as I do my, I tried getting the style from my shorts videos into my long form videos, but if that isn't entertaining, leave in the comments below suggestions. By the way, I just want to share a little funny story. Forrester I met in my comments section under my mini album review videos, which I think is a really funny full circle moment, because now he's my right-hand man in my country. Have a good day, y'all.